Hey friends, it's Jen with ChappyPlans. Thanks for joining me for this December daily process video. Today I'm sharing a story about our gingerbread house, or not so gingerbread house. So if you'd like to see what I'm going to do, stick around. What's up friends, it's Jen with ChappyPlans. So I want to share what I tried and did not work for me before I started filming this portion of the video. Just to give you sort of like a walk down the story lane, if you will, of this process, because it was not as cut and dry as it appears. So originally I really wanted to have this vellum backing for my snow globe, and I tried embossing. First, I tried texture paste. That was a mess. Then I tried embossing with, did I try embossing? Yes. I tried embossing with glitter, like a more of a glitter powder. That showed up the imperfections way too much as well. And lastly, I decided on embossing with just super fine white embossing powder, because this way the imperfections really aren't super visible to the naked eye. Unless you're really looking at it, it's not that noticeable. And that's what I needed, because this is a much smaller stencil, as you can see, over a larger piece of paper. Well, vellum, it's vellum. Oh wait, no. See, so I gave up on the vellum and I'm just doing it on cardstock, okay, at this point. So there was like a good hour or so of playing before I settled on what I really was going to do for the background of this story. And all this is the background paper for the globe. I totally took this inspiration from Prep Day, and I will link the original creator in the description box, so you guys can go check out her Instagram and YouTube and all that kind of stuff. But the lesson is in the Prep Day class. And so these shaker snow globes are amazing. And I knew I wanted to have my own background paper, because the photo that's going as the base part and the main part of this snow globe is very bright and colorful. So I didn't want anything that was like too loud, or that would take away too much from the actual picture itself. So here what I'm doing, as you can see, is wiping away the excess powder that gets on the page. And then you just, using a dry paintbrush to do that, and embossing. So I'm going to fast forward through that part so you don't have to watch this whole thing over and over again. You get the idea. I kind of drew a little outline with pencil so I knew where to do the stencils, and that's that. So now that the background is complete, I can actually put together the shaker portion of the snow globe. And so I have a clear piece of acetate here that I got at Michael's in a little, I think it's like a 6x6 pack. And I've already used my Cricut to cut out the shapes for the snow globe. And then I just used my glossy accents to add glue to each of the layers. Now, I think I didn't let it dry long enough, because it just kept coming up. And throughout the video, I'm not sure if I will edit it out or not, but I want to just be honest with you, I ended up having to pull apart layers and squeeze redline tape in between them, which was not ideal. So, yeah, I don't know if I just didn't let the glossy accents dry long enough or what it was. So now I'm going to pick my sequins. I decided to pull from these 3 bags from the Diary of Belle Rose, because they go perfectly with what I have going on in the photo, the colors-wise, I mean. So there's some pinks, there's some blues, and then there's some greens. I end up putting way too much in, so I painstakingly picked out a good portion of the ones I knew that I didn't want in there. And so you will see me now trim around the excess acetate that I don't need, and that is going to act as the top layer. There are 3 other layers of those the white archways, if you will, that create the little wall, so that there's a tiny bit of room for the depth of the sequins. So I'm going to pick a bunch of those out, and then when I'm satisfied with the way it looks, that'll be good. That'll be good for me. So we're zoomed way in here. Sorry about that. I think I do zoom back out. But you can see now I've got the colors that I want, and I'm going to use this is going to be, this is one of the inserts from the cut apart. And that's going to slide underneath the layers of the snow globe, and that's going to house these two separate photos. So there's one of Nora and I working on the gingerbread house, and one of my husband and Nora working on the gingerbread house. And I just think they're so cute. And it was a lot of fun because Nora was just her usual, like, really goofy self as we were making this. And cracking jokes and naming all the pom-poms different names, and just like we were playing Christmas music and she was making up words to the songs that were completely ridiculous and inappropriate. All the poop jokes, all the, anything that has to do with farts and diarrhea, that's like her jam. She's like a fourth grade boy. So, um, that's what we were listening to as we were creating this not so gingerbread house. And that's why I have the title here. These are some alpha stickers from Paper Person Shop last year, I believe, that I got on sale. And I used these foam circles to pop them up so that I have room to decorate behind it. And you'll see that what that looks like in a minute. But I spelled out gingerbread, and I put bread in quotes because it's not a gingerbread house, it's a craft house. And that's the ironic part of the story and kind of the little twist this year on our tradition, because Nora has celiacs. So last year we didn't even do a gingerbread house because we didn't find anything like this, but I found this at Target. And so we were really excited to be able to do the quote gingerbread house again. So there I am, just kind of playing around with it. And look, oh no, the glossy accents didn't stick. So I'm going to use red line tape. And I end up having to do that over and over again for the other layers as they come apart as well. So maybe, I don't know, maybe your glue works better than mine, or maybe you have more time to let it dry, or maybe not. Maybe you just want to go with red line tape from the get-go, and avoid the whole situation of having to try to shimmy some red line tape in between really thin layers of paper, which is not ideal. Then you are going to see me trimming down some of this. This was a test piece that I did the texture paste with that same stencil. And I put that across the bottom because I tried to erase the pencil mark over the embossing, which was just a huge mistake, and it made a huge mess, as you can see. And I end up covering up most of that anyway, so it's not a huge deal, but it's kind of an eyesore. Not gonna lie, don't love it, but it is what it is. So I'm gonna use these different little sized glue dots by Thermoweb to adhere the vellum, and I'm putting them underneath the red starbursts or snow or whatever you want to call them, to kind of hide them so that you don't see them there. And that's going to act kind of as my border. And it was a happy accident. Like, I obviously would much rather not have had that pencil mark be there, but I do like the addition of the red on the bottom, and it gives it a little bit of interest because there's so much white happening. So yeah, it was one of those, like, I didn't really want to add this extra step or have this be a hot mess with pencil everywhere, but we're going to work with it. And I did, and I think it turned out pretty cute. So now I'm re-adhering that down. I didn't even measure the vellum right, but that's okay because it's going to be covered up with the gingerbread title there in the bottom. So that slides in and out pretty nicely. And now you can see I'm going to play with the embellishments. I did add a couple of stickers on each of the pictures from last year's December Daily Kit, and a couple of labels from this year's Advent Calendar Kit. And I wrote, "You and Daddy had the most silly, fun decorating day, too." I took these transparencies, the trees from last year's kit, and I decided to be clever and cut it in half and then have it go on either side of this snow globe. I just love the tree. I love the gold, and I think it's perfect. It's not too much, and it's not, like, understated. I think it's just the right type of embellishment I was looking for, because I wanted a big, like a long embellishment, and I couldn't quite find anything that I thought fit. And I still have to make sure that the slider piece can come in and out once I put each of these little embellishments down. So you can see I'm going to add that gold transparency tree. That's from this year. And then there's a gold, like, star shape. That's from this year. That's going to go on the left. And then the hearts are from the new Holly Jolly collection from Studio Calico. But they're all acetate or transparency pieces, so I think it all works together really well. The colors are perfect. I took this little garland that has gingerbread men and women on it with little tassels. I got it at Hobby Lobby, and I deconstructed it and just put the gingerbread people on both this portion of the spread and on the right side, which you'll see in a minute. And that little tool that I keep using to peel the red line tape is from American Crafts. Believe it or not, it does work. It saved me a lot of headache, to be honest. I wasn't sure if it was going to work, and it totally did. So you can get those on scrapbook.com. I have a description. Nope, I have a link to the website in my description box. It is an affiliate link, but you don't have to use it. So I'm going to use red line tape as well to adhere the rest of these transparencies down, arrange them in a way that I think looks cute, and I will fast forward to the end of that so you can see what it looks like. Ta-da! And so the last thing I'm going to do for this is add this little gold star shape to the top. I wanted to use this pink velvet trim from Tim Holtz. I thought it was the perfect shade of pink, but it ends up being like too wonky, like too big, covering up the star too much, and I wasn't able to fit the number 7 up there as well, which I wanted to do. So, and these puffy stickers are from, they're from Paper Person Shop as well, I think last year's release, but they were a clearance item I got when, as part of like my add-ons during a subscription period. So I definitely wasn't going to negotiate using a different number, so I knew that I needed to trade out that beautiful ribbon for a different one. So I am going to look through my giant stash of ribbon and settle on this baker's twine, which I got, I think at Joann in the kids craft section. It's that like pop brand or whatever. So that's what I'm going to use to embellish. I had thought about adding some dangly pieces and charms to the end of the ribbon, but I thought that would take away from the shaker itself, and I want that to be the standalone eye-catching piece. So I just decided to keep it simple with the ribbon and then the number 7. I use my glossy accents to adhere the star and also to sort of keep the ends of the ribbon from fraying. So I just put a little tiny dot on the end of each of those pieces of twine. And so you can see the left side is good. I'm showing you, there it is. It slides in and out. Ta-da, we did it. And then on the right side now I can move to this half circle, which I chose because of the label shape being a half circle. And now I'm going to try and pick out some trim because I just want to simply embellish this with trim and call it good. I thought about doing a bunch of other things, adding stickers, adding like die cuts or something, but I really just wanted to have and include a piece of the ephemera from the packaging because I love seeing that in everybody else's December dailies and Project Life, all those scrappy projects where people include ephemera pieces, and I never do. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna use it, and it turned out to be perfect because I always struggle. I say always, like I've been doing this forever. This is my second year doing December daily, so calm down, Jen. You're not an expert, but so you know, I feel challenged by the semicircle shape. I'm just going to come out and say it. So when I saw that this ephemera was the same exact shape, I was like, OMG, this is the perfect opportunity to use the semicircle. So I just wanted to keep it simple. And as you can see, originally I'm planning on showcasing this on the right side of the page. So the left side has the snow globe and the right side will have the shaker, or the left side has the snow globe and the right side would have the packaging. But in the end, that's not what I end up doing, and you're going to see that in just a second. You can see I settled on this pink tassel trim. I got it on a spool at Joann. And then I'm moving to the back side of the semicircle, which is going to have a close-up of the side of the section of the house that Nora worked on for the most part. I mean, she worked on all of it, but this was the biggest portion she did, was this roof here. And I add my journaling. I also added the rest of this sample piece that I was practicing with texture paste on and then vellum sheet. I added the rest of that, fill in the gap there, so it wasn't just white at the top. Sample with the journaling over that, which talks about all the shenanigans that I mentioned earlier of this semicircle to kind of fill in that. I also talk about the pros and cons of doing a craft gingerbread house versus an edible. And in the end, I am team craft, to be honest. Talking about the pros and cons of like I am going to call this good. You're going to see gingerbread house versus a edible gingerbread house. I kind of looked at trying to embellish the semicircle with some trim as well, but in the end, I left it. I think that the color and the shaker pocket and all of the other moving pieces on the left side are plenty. And I'm very happy with the way this turned out. It did take me quite a while. I want to say it took me a couple of hours, but it was just the most delightful time and I really enjoyed it. I watched my December daily videos while I played and it was just the best. I am loving this project this year. I hope you guys are enjoying watching it. You can see, I'm like, ooh, let me try this one. Ooh, let me try this one. No. We're just going to leave it blank. But I knew I wanted something. It needed something extra, some dimension. So I did finally bring back that little bow. So yay, the velvet bow makes an appearance and it's perf. It's just perfect. I love it at the top there. I'm also going to add a couple of the gingerbread people. So you can see I'm going to use those same little glue dots to put, I couldn't figure out where to put them, but I ended up putting one towards the bottom and then one towards the top. And I think that that's perfect. It's just a little bit of extra, a little something to add, and it ties both the left and the right side of the page together. I need to cover up that little tiny attacher, so I'm going to use one of these chipboard starbursts, which came in last year's December daily kit. I really wanted to use a lot of them last year. I just didn't end up doing that, so I'm very glad to be able to use them this year. And I think that it looks perfect in the middle of that bow. And then so that I have a couple more, because I like to work in threes, I'm going to bring them over to the left side of the page as well for a little bit of consistency. So I put one on the top of that tree, and I think I add another one, yeah, to the top of this tree on the left. I just end up trimming off a little tiny bit and adding it. It does cover up the green star at the top, but that's okay with me. I actually really like the way that looks. So that's going to be it for me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Please give me a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss my content. And I will see you in the next video. Take care, my sweet friends, and remember that you are enough. Love ya. Bye.